It seems as if gummy bears do not get the royal seal of approval from King Booker. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. Before I get into this video, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. The Young Bucks, one of the more controversial tag teams of the last decade. It seems as if you either love them and think they are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, or you can't stand them and you don't get them at all, right? So there's no in between when it comes to the Bucks. And one person in particular who did not enjoy the spot that they had that took place at Forbidden Door, where it looked as if they were teasing dropping a bag of thumbtacks all over the mat, and instead of getting thumbtacks, they had gummy bears, was none other than Booker T. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of Booker T. I think him or the Macho Man are the greatest king of the rings of all time, but he had a spot on his radio show, that he does on a regular basis for ESPN in his city of Houston, where he went on to talk about that, and he says, moments like that are why I don't watch AEW. I've never watched AEW. I've only seen clips here and there. Now, with him saying that out loud, it eliminates a very important part of that spot that we saw with the Bucks and the Gummy Bears. And that is context, right? I feel like you can't get a full picture of something if you're just watching a minute clip. If you guys have been paying attention to the product, you know that this ongoing story that they're telling with the Young Bucks is ever since they lost their EVP ship at All In, that they are being constantly disrespected, not only by the graphics team and the ring announcers, but they were disrespected by somebody backstage that they went to and approached them with a bag and told him to fill it up with thumbtacks. And since they have no power anymore, they were disrespected once again by having that bag filled with gummy bears. Now, WWE is a company that constantly says, we're not a wrestling company, we're not wrestling, we are a storytelling company, right? And if you don't sit and pay attention to the story that they were telling with that spot and what went along with that spot, then you're kind of lost, right? And with a person who is employed by the storytelling company, you would think that he would want to check out and see what is the story behind why that spot took place. I actually kind of find it, a bit, silly that same day that he said that we just saw an NXT match where two guys were blindfolded, right? I mean, that's some silly stuff right there as well, right? I feel like you can't really sit there and if you think about Booker T's career as well, right? All those silly vignettes that he had when he teamed up with Goldust as well. The guy has participated in comedy and other crazy angles as well. Mainly the thing that popped into my mind is the angle with Kurt Angle, where he said that he wanted to have bestiality sex with Booker T's wife, right? That's okay, but gummy bears on a wrestling ring is not, right? That's where we draw the line. It's just crazy how professional wrestling could be, in certain points, right? But honestly, I think it really kind of comes down to this. You hear it from both sides, so I don't want to just point it out and say it's a WWE thing. But it feels as if these legends who are under these contracts, and WWE happens to have more legends under deals than AEW has. I think only Sting is the only person under AEW who has some sort of a legends deal. But it feels as if it is like a mandate that these guys who are legends and signed with WWE have to find some way or some angle to where they could just crap on AEW, right? And that's fine. I feel like we all have choices. If you want to watch WWE and that's the only thing that you want to watch and you think it's the best, have at it, right? If you want to watch AEW and you think that's the best and that's all you want to watch, have at it. There's multiple different options. If you want to watch both, good for you as well. There's multiple different options when it comes to professional wrestling out there that I feel as if there is something out there for everybody. But it's just, it's just strange when you look at this whole thing, and it's just like, with all the silly angles that WWE has told throughout the years, for you to just see a spot like that where you have no context and don't really understand why that spot took place, it's just feels as if it was a pointless shot by Booker T. And the guy had no idea what he was talking about because he didn't watch anything leading up to that specific spot. But hey, if you like it, great. If you don't, You don't. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Did you enjoy the gummy bear spot that we saw at Forbidden Door? Did you not? Are you 100% with Booker T? Do you think that he needed more context to where he could fully decide if he liked that spot, or you think it wouldn't have mattered regardless because the guy just didn't think gummy bears in the ring was cool? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker.